Let's start all this up. Let's see. What am I doing here? Hmm. Make sure everything's checked out. Who is this? Somebody talking shit. Hmm. I'm gonna just get straight into it. You know, it's like I was checking out something, and it's like this dude. It's like nowadays these, I don't know. I guess they're like these young guys in their 20s. They be always be saying stuff and like jokes and stuff. And when this one dude was talking about these companies, and I was like, dude, like what? I don't see why you're trying to make this into like. It's almost like he was trying to make a joke out of the fact that they're virtual signaling, and that phrase sounds so stupid to me. A lot of like it just sounds dumb because it tries to minimize like people trying to fight for something. And the people that's talking about it don't have to fight for anything, or the thing they're fighting for is something like so frivolous. It's not even a fight because nobody's really trying to do anything to you, but the fact that you think that you're losing something is making you upset, and you look more pathetic talking about an issue that is not even affecting you if you stop thinking about it like that. And so, dude was talking about the whole virtual signaling thing, and I'm like I said, you're not funny, you're not witty. It's like what are we doing here? Even if you feel like these companies don't care about like social injustice, I mean, a lot of people know that. Like the companies only care about their bottom line. But just but oh damn. But it's just like people always talked about social injustice. So it's like, was Dr. King virtual signaling? Was Malcolm X virtual signaling? Or what was his name? Rivera, whatever was the name? Was he virtual signaling? Was was Gandhi, as as racist as he was towards black people? Was he virtual signaling? I mean, everybody talked about some type of thing. So to try to be like, oh, you're virtual signaling because you're trying to bring up, or like to suffragettes, like, come on. I mean, basically, whoever's making these things about like certain injustices towards their side, you're virtual signaling. That's why I never got the whole concept of like certain groups of people talking about what do they say? That whole bullshit like social, or you a social justice warrior. But you being mad about something happening to you, aren't you being a social justice warrior on your side? Aren't you fighting for a cause in society or on your side? But it's just like they never think about like, oh, I could be a potential social justice warrior, or whatever the case is. I mean, that's a dumb thing to say. Like every like you have opposition on both sides. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just so ridiculous to sit up there and say like, oh, one side is a snowflake, but when something that causes them or that they feel indignant or something like they feel like a threat is upon them, they be the main ones crying. So are you a snowflake? Or like I said, like the whole thing. I mean, you're fighting for a cause in society. When something happens to you, so aren't you a social justice warrior too? Aren't you virtue signaling when you feel like companies are attacking you or something like that? Like, come on, dude. You're doing the same thing that you're accusing the other side for. So it just sounds stupid. Even though this dude seems like he's apolitical, but it's just the fact that you're still saying it is ridiculous. And I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm just like, damn. I mean, you just sound ridiculous. And the shit that you laughing at or trying to make fun of ain't even funny. And just talking about like it was this thing about Overwatch, and I'm like again. I mean, if these companies want to do something with people talking about the shit, it's just like let them do what they do, man. Cause you just sound pathetic being upset about stuff like even though I see like why they have to talk about it, cause if they're like a video game channel, it's their thing to talk about it. But at the same time, though, it just looks sad. Like when you just, like I said, when they come at me about my characters, like I said, I do not care about like their clothes and shit. Like if somebody's talking about somebody scantily clad, like I said, I got a whole bunch of characters. I got over 200 something characters, like I mentioned in the last, like yesterday, and it's not even all of them because I got over 1,000 of them. All of them can't be like pandering to people. I mean, because all of them have different personalities. Even the ones that are like, twins or triplets, like right here that I'm working on. I mean, it just can't all be. Everybody can't be the same. So it's like if somebody complains about the clothes about these characters, I mean, you're just complaining about one out of so many. And then it's like I'm a straight dude, so of course I want to see chicks in like skimpy outfits or whatever the case is. Like, I mean, if it's like, oh, this is misogyny or something like that, it's like, look, I see why you want to feel this way, but it's not even close to it though. Because again, like my mother's in this game, and in this whole like project. I mean, she's always covered up. So, or there's like the main character of this game is mostly covered up. You know what I'm saying? Like the only thing is her titties are pushed up in like her outfit, but like she doesn't show like a lot of like leg like other characters do. So I can't just be worrying about every little person that's saying something. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. I mean, it's just how it's gonna go down. And then again, like what I was saying in the last video, I mean, you wasn't there when I created the character, so I mean, what you gotta say is like about that is kind of irrelevant. I'm like, damn. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. Cause then I was watching this video yesterday. It was about it was about this particular dude. And people was talking about, yeah, we gave him a lot of like credit and all this other stuff. And I think people like want to hear what they have to say, but then was that a problem that we gave them such a big platform that we believe in what they say, and then when they say something wrong, it's like this whole thing. And I'm like, but why did you even give a shit about what this person had to say in the first place, though? Like, y'all the ones who gave him legitimacy. I'm like, I never cared about him after a certain point. It's like this famous dude. And it's like after a certain point, I really didn't care about what he had to say. I mean, he did some cool shit in the past, but that's as far as it went, though. And then now he's like so off the rails. Now it's a shock that he's doing and saying the shit he's saying. So it's like, but to me, like I said, I never cared. And I don't think people should have honestly cared anyway about what he honestly had to say. And it'd be like, and then there was this other guy that they was talking about who was just complete garbage in the first place. I'm like, did y'all really care what he had to say out of all people? Like, come on, dude. Like, y'all giving too much legitimacy to a lot of people. And half the time they didn't even need it. I'm like, man. I mean, it's like, what happened to oh, I go by the beat of my own drum type thing. And then it'd be like these dudes to be talking about I'm free thinkers and shit. It's like, but you think just like the rest of the herd though. So how you a free thinker? I hate when people use that shit because it's like, no, you wasn't, dude. You was never a free thinker, brother. Like I don't know what delusions that made you think that you was, and then always trying to say kind of the most unorthodox stuff to try to be provocative and trying to be like, oh, he's thinking on some deep shit. I mean, just saying like the most craziest things don't mean you're deep, dude. And that goes for a lot of people. Just even dude in the industry that people propped up last year for absolutely no reason. And I'm like, no, just because you made some weird shit doesn't mean you're some genius. And people keep throwing that word around too loosely. It be the dudes doing the same exact shit that everybody else did before him. And then it's like, oh, he's a genius. And it's like, where at? I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just looks so crazy when you got these dudes and shit. I'm like, stop giving these dudes legitimacy that don't even deserve it. And that's where I think a lot of these people be going wrong. And then you got like these nerdy dudes on the internet talking about like what some article said about some character. I mean, if this is how some people feel about like I said, I don't care one way or another about like if somebody says something about like scantily clad characters. Because it's like I said, I'm from the old school, and it's just like hearing, like I said, I'm not trying to take nothing away from these games journalists. I'm not. This is how I was growing up. This is nothing against games journalists or people of these magazines. But back in the day, we had like one of the only things called like game magazines called Nintendo Power, and then there was like Game Informer. And it's like if you got the magazine, you only got it for the demo disc that came with the shit. Like Nintendo Power didn't have demo disc, but like for the ones I think Game Informer did. And it's like you only got the magazine for the demo disc. You didn't care about what the article said or who was writing it. You didn't care. You was like, I'm gonna just get this for the demo disc and I'm gonna ride out. Or if you liked a particular picture in a magazine or something, and you just got it for the pictures. Like you didn't get it to be like, oh, I wonder what this dude had to say about Tomb Raider. Nobody cared. I mean, like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from the people that was writing those articles, but it's just nobody cared. I mean, that's just how it was growing up. I mean, in the '90s as a kid, that's just how it was. Like I said, no shade, no nothing. I'm just saying this is the experience of how it was growing up in the suburbs. Yes, black people lived in the suburbs. All my friends was in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? But we just played video games. We went to each other's houses and shit, and we in the suburbs. And then you played the game like Chris down the street, Joshua, Daniel, uh, Jason. And even hearing our names back, like even saying the names like Roosevelt, like we had like Anglo-Saxon names, Daniel, both Chris's, Roosevelt, Jason, Brian, Jonathan, Joshua. Who else? Did I say Daniel? There was like two white dudes on like, cause when I moved there and when it was at '87, there was it was mostly white before white flight happened. But it was a white dude across the street from me named Sean. Next door was Mark. Maynard was down the street. Cody lived around the corner. You know what I'm saying? But then, like I said, white flight happened and everybody slowly started, the neighborhood started to get darker. But one of the ones, the mainstays that still stayed was Nick. But you know what I'm saying? But all of us played games and didn't like we got the game magazines for the pictures or the demo disc. You know what I mean? But now it's just like, oh, what the Takat, oh, what's it called? Tataku has to say about this. It's like, and then people saying stuff and not liking what they're saying. Like, okay, like it's just too much. Like maybe you do care, maybe you like kind of hate read what they have to say so you could make a video about it, but it's just like I said, it's just a crazy time. Like hearing these like young dudes being so mad and so triggered about what somebody's saying in these game magazines. I'll be like, oh, there's some feminists that's mad about Tomb Raider. Oh, you know what I mean? Like nobody was even talking. And then that's another thing. You didn't hear anybody like mad and crying about Tomb Raider back when she had like pointy titties. Like when she first came out, her titties was mad sharp. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, you know, I don't know. You liked her because she had like some big titties. You beat off to her. I don't know. But nobody was like mad at it. It was just like, oh shit. I didn't play. I never played a Tomb Raider game. No, I played it one time. I played it once, like one of her first games, and it was like, nah, shooting like dinosaurs and bears and shit. Nah, what was this? You know what I mean? But no shade at Tomb Raider and the people who like Tomb Raider. But it's just like you're like people putting too much like validity into this shit. Like, oh, the feminists are talking about Tomb Raider. It is just crazy to me, to be honest. I mean, because I don't even read these articles. I mean, I just ride out and do what I do. I mean, even if they talk about my stuff, I'll be like, I might like look at the article or whatever, maybe. But other than that, I might not even look. You know, even if they interview me for something, I'll be like, I mean, there'd be no point of reading this shit because I know what I was would have been saying. But I'm like, damn, because I'm good. But it's just like these dudes, like I said, just watch. People gonna be just straight trying to get at my ass. Maybe these same dudes talking about they like the Agent of Chaos, but when the chaos hits home, then they ain't gonna like this shit then. I mean, it's just like even with my stuff right now. Like I added two new characters in the script that already has like a lot of playable characters in it, but it's not done to the point where it's annoying. Like sometimes you play with a certain group, and sometimes it's done modestly. Like like you could play with the main character obviously, but you could switch between characters. But sometimes there's missions where you just play as the main character, and then there's some that like you actually switch through a lot of them. But it's just like I wouldn't find it's not overbearing. It's done, like in my opinion, it's done right. Some people may not like it. Some people may think like, oh, because they all provide like a unique style to the gameplay. Like it's cool, with some certain boss fights and everything. So I just like one character is not playable, the other one is. And people might have like some a problem with how like I'm like the the many characters in it. It's just like, oh, because you're gonna have some people that's not gonna like it, and you're gonna have some people that will. Am I gonna worry about like what every other opinion is? Nah, cause then and it'd be the same people. Like I remember when the PlayStation 5 was shown, which with that red picture, like it was a picture and the PlayStation was red, and they said, "Oh, this is how's it gonna look," and it didn't. It was completely different. But people had their panties in a bunch about how it looked. But when they actually seen the real thing, they was talking about, "Oh, it looked like a spaceship," but then you bought it. And these same people talking about that whole like Black Lives Matter, like free, um, that free theme, and they was like, "Oh, I know what I'm going to start getting." I mean, Xbox got my money, and they was talking about fuck PlayStation. I guarantee you, if you look at their channels and their tweets, they bought the PlayStation 5. They just talking shit. Cause it was these two racist dudes talking shit. And they were like, I'm not buying the PlayStation because it has no games on it anyway. But like I said, I guarantee you they bought that shit. And while they were saying it, they already pre-ordered it, trying to pretend like they never got it. Like, get out of here, man. But I'm just like I said, I'm on my own shit, dude. Because even the new character that's playable is like he does something with the weapons. Like he upgrades the weapons, and that's even like another thing. I was like, okay, so if he's gonna do that, then because I was trying to find like a purpose of why add him in there. And so I'm like, okay, if this is his purpose, then I'm gonna have to figure out like all the weapons I did. I'm gonna have to like break some pieces off so it could be customizable on the weapons. And so that's basically what I'm thinking about like right now. And it's just like how it is for these dudes. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they don't have nothing else going on in their lives or something. I don't know. Cause I'm on some whole thing like it's cool to complain and get your frustrations out, but I mean, if you don't like certain shit, then do something about it, man. Like it's like, look, if you don't like these chicks complaining about these games, then I would just make like it'll be a chick. She just fights in a thong and bra and panties or some shit. That's all she fighting, and I'll just make her overly sexualized and just not give a fuck if women saying some shit about it. Cause some gonna like it, some are not. Man, that's just how it is, man. I'm gonna have to shut all her hair down. And then I gotta put these in the collection because it's a lot of like other hair. Whatchamacallit. It's like shit. But because this is just like if somebody was asking me on some shit like then well, what's the thing that you'll be upset about in something like I said, if you, the only thing that would have upset me, and it's like that, or I would talk in length about like that. It's like if somebody was doing some racist shit. But if it's like, stuff about a story or like, you know what I mean, like a game and they're doing this and like Mortal Kombat, like making the chicks cover up, I'm like, okay. Or what was the thing about Tifa's titties? Like they made them smaller and they don't bounce as much or something like that. It's just like, oh, I'm just like I said, if it ain't something about like some racist shit, then it's just like I just don't care what people got to say about these things. Cause maybe the women do feel like they tired of the over sexualization. It's like, I mean, I understand that, but these dudes with these videos, they be mad. They be like, damn. Like, just shut up and have fun. It's like, that sounds like something like a rapist would say or something. I'm like, bro, like nobody could voice their shit like a real grievance. I'm like, yo, they be making themselves look like assholes. There was a whole bunch of other stuff I was supposed to do. Like the whole nose and everything. I just feel like like changing the subject about the nose. I mean, I just feel like I really want to get into them, but it's just too much though. Like trying to learn how to fucking do this shit. Like, um, yeah, how to do this shit. Like, knowing all these nodes and everything. This shit is crazy. Like what they do, how you use them. Oh, my man. Before I go over there, the shit you gotta learn how to do and connect them. And one of them is like one of these the nodes. They said all the plugins, like all the greens, go into each like the same color of the plug-in, but one of them doesn't. And it's like, that shit is kind of misleading. This shit is real misleading. Like one of the facts go into like some other part of the shit, and I'm like, my man, nah, that's not even right. When they clearly said like, cause it's like gray, it's just a whole thing. Let me try to make this over here, cause ooh, this is going around. Alright, this should be cool enough. I'm not deleting the bottom until I make this like round. And I'm kind of thinking like, no, I'm gonna leave it like that. I was thinking like I should use the single vert, but it's like, fuck it. Yeah, that whole single vert is too late. Well, it's not too late, but I'm not gonna delete it because I mean, soon as I kind of round off this edge, I mean, it's basically like it's all well and good after that. I'm trying to get it a little bit like right here. Damn it. All right, let's see. Let me put this here because every time. See, and every time I keep seeing this triangle, I'm thinking like if I ever did the like cloth simulation, is could I get away with just because this is almost like there's gonna be two triangles here and then on the other side when I do the mirror modifier, and it's just like they try to make it seem like you have to do everything in complete squares with polygons. Like, technically this is a square. All this is squares. But it's like I don't know who the character is. He had a brown jacket in Resident Evil, one of the Resident Evils. I think his name is Leon or some shit. And as if I could remember correctly, he did not have complete squares in his shit. So that's kind of like what I'm thinking. Like, can I get away with certain like not doing it precisely right? Can I get away with some squares? I mean, they're not like full blown end guns or nothing, but can I get away with at least one or two squares? That's my thing. Like, does it have to be like that? I should actually make ask that question. Now let me see. I need to bring this down. Nope. I need to bring this down, dude. Alright, let's see. Because I need to try to bring this out, though. So it could be round. And even for me, like some of the stuff that I'm doing here is just, I don't know, it's just kind of not weird, but trying to make like get around certain stuff. Like, okay, how you make this like whole collar around it? You know what I mean? And that's almost why I brought up the single vert. But you could just do certain things with these loop cuts. Yeah. I don't want to make. Oh, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to make too many of these. Alright, that's cool to start off with. Hmm. Oh. I'm trying to block out all the parts of this. I'm kind of thinking, is this bottom gonna matter? I gotta seriously think about that. Is the bottom part going to matter? No, no. See, this is a lot harder than working on a weapon. A lot harder. Like if this is like some difficulty type shit, this is pretty like, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, because this will obviously be what a sleeve is. And it's enough room. I mean, this should be cool. I mean, I could have actually used the existing jacket that she has and just, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where is it? Yeah, I could have basically just used this and cut the collar part off, and I could have. See, and this whole thing was done by the single vert, and I was just going around the whole thing, like the body, and this is the longer coat version that I gotta obviously fix. Yeah, see, I could have technically took that and just modified it, and but it's like whatever. I mean, it's basically done. Like I said, I just had to make the sleeves, and still trying to figure out if I should. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this part. Like I know I have to cut this off. Wait, before I even do all that, let me save this. Because I know I have to cut this off. But how's it gonna look like it's. Oh, let's see. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna just match the line, the edges, and where does the last one go? Be this. See, no, I see it clipping back there. I'm gonna have to remove her. And honestly focus on this inner. I mean, because it's enough space for me to fix this. It is enough space for me to fix. How would I fix this? Yes, that's close enough. See, then it's like with the whole thing with Twitch, I just don't know. Cause I'm gonna have to bring her back. You know what? Never mind. Fuck it. I'll just have to take extra steps. I'll just have to take the extra steps. I mean, this ain't part of the extra steps, but yeah, I gotta take the extra steps bringing her back. The edges I'm not too worried about because the mirror modifier will fix that. Let's see, everything is lined up right, which it really doesn't seem like it. Hmm. Alright, where's the cutoff point to this? Cause I need to line these up. Oops. Wow. I'm trying to think. There might have been a way easy. Wait a minute. There might have been a way easier way to do this padding part. I could have just used, what's it called? A Taurus. I could have just used that and just see how that's gonna look. But I mean, whatever. I'm almost finished with it. But I'll still look and see how it will look though. Or I could use like a bevel. Let me see. See, that's what I'm saying. I just bring her back the long way. Nah, this won't look right. Wait, what is there? Anything else selected? Damn, dude, why are you doing this to me? Yeah, I'm seriously trying to think like there's probably a better way to use this pad. And I'm trying to think like when the Taurus didn't work like how I wanted to, then there's like I could use the bevel. Instead of just moving all these vertices like damn near one by one. Or see, that's the beauty of this whole shit. Duplicate this jacket and get rid of all of this. Add a whole nother loop. Bring this down. And basically make the pattern out of this. Alright, now I gotta fix the inside. See, like I said, this may be tedious for some, but like I said, I wake up every day enjoying this shit. It's like the one thing I got in my life I actually like. Like I said, the only thing that frustrates me, to be honest, is like trying to learn how to do like something. I gotta watch a video, and these dudes, they be having these intros and they don't get to the point. It'd be like a minute and a half before they get to the point because they gotta say all this other extra shit. It's like, damn, hurry up. But other than that, if I could just freestyle like I'm doing here, This is awesome. Cause then, like I said, it's like what I was saying yesterday about like these whole like DLCs and the clothes that you be buying, like cosmetic shit. Like like I said, I like Black Desert. Don't get me wrong, cause I was kind of like roasting them yesterday. But it's just like $30 for one outfit, though. I'm like, that shit is no good. And that, I mean, that was the first like real time I played an MMO. I tried Terra, but that was like, oh, I can't get into this. But when they came out with Black Desert, I was like, oh shit. And I got into it. And I want to play Blade and Soul. I really want to play that, but I don't want to put that on my PC. They should have came out with that shit for PlayStation and Xbox though. That would have been the thing. But they didn't. And I'm like, why though? Why? Let's see how this is gonna go. Oh, focus on this. Yeah, I'm like, dude, how come you didn't put Blade and Soul on PlayStation? Cause it would have seemed like if Black Desert did it, it seemed like Blade and Soul would have done the same thing. But it's like they didn't. And it's just so crazy. Like, why not though? Cause it's not like you would have had like mad people getting that shit. Me included. Oh, I would have been definitely there for that. I tried to get a Final Fantasy like what was it, 5? No, 14. But it was like, damn man, it's like I gotta put 2 more loops in this. Yeah, cause I gotta put one here, then one at the bottom. Oh no, it's going around. Okay. So basically, I could just delete the original. Yeah, I could delete that. Now for the collar. We save this. What? Let's see. I have a feeling this is not gonna be right. Like the first attempt. Wait a minute, wait, nope. Because the only way to do this, I have to solidify the collar. See, and even this is kind of odd. Yeah, I will have to solidify the collar, bring the sleeve a little further out. Alright, let me see how the solidified collar will be like. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. But I'm not going to use that. Not yet. Damn. Yeah, it'll have to basically be like this. And try to raise these two on the side up. Just a tad. The hell? Alright. Ooh-wee. How long I've been streaming this? Hour 125. Too far. Alright, that should technically be cool enough. But like I said, I gotta bring some of this part of the jacket away from her face. And fix this collar in the back. Like I said, I'm not even saying nothing. Because I'm like seriously trying to focus on this. Because what I need to do is extrude and scale inside of the jacket just a little bit. It didn't extrude the rest of it. Just like that, just slightly. No, wait, that didn't even come out right either. But I have to get back to that because I'm trying to think. How does this go? But before I even get in that, I gotta do this. What? Hmm. Yeah, I've been working on this whole thing all day because I was supposed to do somebody else's hair, but I'm like, fuck it, then it just is what it is. Cause see, that's one of the reasons why I was doing weapons earlier, cause it's faster than this. I mean, cause the weapon has like what, the blade or the main bulk of the weapon and the handle. I mean, there's not too many parts to that. But here, though, we're talking about a whole coat. And then there's another thing I was saying, like doing the first, like doing it the first time takes the longest. But I mean, once the jacket is made, you could just constantly keep making variations out of the same like coat as long as you do keep duplicating this to make other models. So it's like it's the first part that's the hardest. Cause even in the nodes, once you make like a material, like say if I wanted to make this jacket like a yellow color, I wouldn't have to keep like making more colors, like keep doing like the same nodes over and over again to make different colors. I could just take the main node that made it yellow, like the whatever whatever the thing is, and then just change the color in that, like all the color ramps and mix shaders and all that. That you could just basically keep the same and just keep duplicating that. It's just like I said, building it is like the first hard part in the process. But after that, I mean, you pretty much gonna just keep duplicating it. But then at the same time, I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, this shit is just 100% easy. But it's just like, it's just, no. It's just like I said, going through it the first time. Hopefully, this is all the rings. Alright, in order to do this sleeve, I think I think I know what I must do. I think. No, I can't see all that. Alright. Right, something like that. And if anything, no, go back, go back, go back. Yeah, that's probably as good as it can get. Cause I want to do the same thing for this caller too, but I will have to redirect this. Nope. Had to come back to that later. Man, what am I trying to do? I mean, it's basically cool for the like. I mean, once, like I said, put the mirror in and then, extrude these vertices, like the edges, to make the where the sleeves roll up at. And, I mean, technically, I'll be good to go. I mean, there's still some more tweaks that need to be adjusted. They think like things to be adjusted on here. See, I'm not even worrying about that part because this is all supposed to be rolled up anyway. So that part is what it is. But I'm going to just adjust this for the sake of doing it anyway. Now let's see how this looks with the mirror on it. Oh man, save it. Now I gotta take the boxiness out of it. Yeah, I gotta take the boxiness out of this whole thing. But I am going to move on. Because this jacket, god damn. Yo, I'm like, bro. You know, this is let me try to move on. But but who was I gonna work on though? Who was I going to work on? I gotta bring up a picture on my phone. Cause if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right. Where's where? Now this should be safe. Oh yeah. Yeah, I need to duplicate this. Shut this down, son. Wait, isn't the yeah the thing is off. God damn. How long am I going? This might be the first time I do a 2 hour stream like this. You know, that doesn't even matter. But see, that's one of the reasons why I was saying in the other streams that I was like, that's why I need some music, some like real shit. Because like, there's gonna be times when I'm not gonna be saying nothing. Because I'm gonna be so focused on trying to get this right. It's gonna be hard to talk and do this at the same time. So I was like, let me get some music going. And I had people say, oh yeah, you could use it, you should be fine. But it's like some platforms ain't fine with it. So I'm like, fuck it, man. Like if they wanted to act like that, it's like then fine, whatever, dude. When I clearly have permission from a couple people about that. So I'm like, that shit is ridiculous. I mean, I was pissed and sad at the same time because I had to delete like 7 videos. And then I got everything that I was getting said free, free this, free that. And I'm like, now these platforms are saying something else. I'm like, nah, bruh. Because I mean, I'm listening to something, but like I said, I can't have that shit coming out of the stream because they had a problem with it. And then some bringing up some random ass rapper that I've never heard of in my life. I'm like, dude, you gonna seriously do this to me like that? I was like, nah. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people, except for this dude's family, never heard of him. And I'm like, yo, who is this? And it was almost hard to even find the dude in the first place. And then when I heard the song that they said that I got without permission didn't even sound like none of the songs that I had. And I'm like, see, this is bullshit. And so I would have to literally, the only way to change that, I would have to make basically 36 tracks on my laptop. And I don't have the time for that. Like I do not have the time to make my own beats right now. Cause like I said, I'm writing the script to the game, of the movies, to this project. I still haven't finished a third movie to like another project that has nothing to do with this game. I mean, I've been putting that shit off for like at least 2 years or something like that. I mean, it's just a whole thing. Cause it was like some trap beats, rock, rap songs, lo-fi. Cause I was gonna put some like Korean stuff on here, and I was like, no, cause they got voices. Because this is like 24-hour Korean, like R&B slash rap stream, and I was like, nah. Cause I've been into the Korean rap and R&B ever since like 1999. Cause it was like this channel I used to watch. It was called the International Channel, and it was a one of the shows that used to come on there was called Video Music Heaven or Video Music Haven. It was these two Korean chicks, and one of them was thick, and I used to watch that. And this was like Like, cause of all this whole like Korean like pop sensation with BTS, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I was listening to this before anybody knew, like, you know, HOT, GOD, Jinju Sean, Park John Yoon, who else? Seven, Lady T, Drunken Tiger, the YG family, Lexi. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, my stuff is old school. Cause I remember I was on the bus with this Korean chick, cause she went to college, and I was telling her about this, and she was like surprised, like, "Oh, how do you know about this?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was the channel called the International Channel. I used to watch it, blah blah blah." And she said, "Oh, it's hard to find people that would know the difference between South and North Korea." And so it was like, yeah, like all these like South Korean artists I used to listen to and watch, and like Harasu, Goofy, and so like, and then New Way Bo. But then after like '09, it's not that I fell out with it, but you know, it's like people move on to different shit. But then here come BTS, and everybody's like talking about like, oh, this is the sensation, and I'm like, I mean, there's nothing against them. There's nothing against them. But when I talk about like music, like I'm always talking about old school shit. Like if you talking about like if somebody brought up some rock music, like current, it's like give me Limp Bizkit, Corn, System of a Down, Mushroom Head, Static X, or like rap music. It's like Busta Rhymes, DMX, Wu Tang Clan, Redman, Method Man, like those type of groups, or like even going back to the rock, like Lacana Coil, like it's that type of stuff. If you're talking about anything current, it's like nah. I mean, I would say the one of the only few current people I listen to is like Lupe and Kendrick. Like as far as like rap music, I mean the trap beats are cool, but then when you start hearing the people rapping on it, it's like nah. So it's like going like to the South Korean shit. It's like yeah, my stuff goes back to '99. You know, Cho PD. Like I'm like that deep. Like you know, this is my style. Yo, that's what I'm talking about. Like back then, BTS, like I said, there's nothing against them, but they too new for me. And I hate to sound like some old dude, but that's just the way that is. So I was like, if I was gonna put them on, like, I wanted to put like the stream, but like I said, that's probably copyrighted to death. So I'm like, not even gonna even attempt to do it because they got me with this random rapper that nobody knew about, like some African rapper at that. Like who was he? I'm not trying to say nothing against like African rappers, but like who was he? It's like it's just a whole thing. So I'm like, nah. After that, cause you even got people talking about like songs in games that they feel like they too scared to like play and let through. Cause what's it called DMCA's or some shit. Like people scared of that shit. But if it's in the game, shouldn't the algorithm know what the deal is? I mean, cause you fucking up people's shit by something they really like they can't control really. I mean, they could mute the song, but that's like why should the streamer do all that? That's the game that put this the music in. But I'm like after that whole fiasco with the shit, I was like, nah, fuck it. I just listen to my own shit in my own head, like in my ear, and just leave it at that basically. I mean, if you want to start getting all touchy-feely about the shit. Oh, this is gonna take a long time uploading this video, boy. And even with Blackpink, I'm like I said, I like my shit old school. And this like Korean, like 24-hour hip hop, R&B, like the shit sounds like old school. I'm like, yo. And I could never pronounce this one group. I think they're spelled SHINHWA. And they were like, they had on like white suits, I think, and then they were dancing in the water. Like I said, my stuff is old school. But like I said, that was the type of music I wanted to play with. Damn, how am I gonna get this out of here? I hope this is it. I mean, hell, like it's just like even with the Japanese side, it was like Slack, Dragon Ash. I think Dragon Ash was Japanese. I mean, I be all over the world with my shit. Like Rush, the Russian rapper, he was tight. I mean, if I'm bouncing from country to country. And it was like a Jewish rapper. His name was Modest Yahoo, I think his name was. He was tight. But you know, it's kind of crazy because it's just like if somebody was asking me like, how did you get in all these like different genres of music? It's like a fact about how I grew up. My mom, she said the first song that I liked was from the Beastie Boys. You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party, but I don't remember that. But I remember watching, what was it, Tina, like, oh, it was a Tina Turner song. I think it was like from Beyond Thunderdome or something like that. But the first like genre, like what am I doing? The first thing I remember listening to was the Beatles, cause she, had a lot of Beatles like CDs, and I would say like a lot of so-called black nerds. I don't really consider myself a nerd, But like even Lupe could like, because me and Lupe Fiasco are around the same age. I don't know him, but he's from Chicago, blah 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 blah. But he liked the Beatles, so it just seemed like if you want to like if you're like musically savvy, it's almost like that's your entry to like knowing or getting into other like music from other lands and all that shit. I don't know. That's what it seems like. Cause I got a friend that's always talking about. Anytime we talking about music, he brings up like the same groups like Elton John and Evanescence and all that. Just when we talk about music, I don't think he too much listened to the Beatles too much. And obviously Michael Jackson was like one of them. But like I'm all over the place. Especially some of the like music from the 80s, like Ha, Fine Young Cannibals and all that. Tears for Fears. Oh, and how could I forget about Disturbed? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like all over the place. And I don't like really have like a favorite genre of music. It's almost like depends on how I'm feeling. Like if I feel like listening to some techno shit, you know what I'm saying? That's because I just don't believe in sticking to just one genre or something like that. I mean, because it's just like, I don't know. It's like you cutting yourself off from the rest of the world or something. So it don't matter what type. The only group of people I would feel like I could relate to is like a younger crowd, because it's just like the music nowadays is like oh, and because it was just like this one dude, like he was talking, I was watching this video and he was like he was talking about Blender, and somehow he got to Linkin Park, and he said that he likes Linkin Park, but he couldn't remember the lyrics to In the End, and I almost had a heart attack. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like he seems like he's a older, not like not I wouldn't say older, but he seemed like my age, like around my age. And that's kind of like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like I could have a conversation with this dude, but like anybody younger than 25 is like, nope. Unless somehow they was just listening to this. But it's like, and that's how I almost feel about chicks. Like if you younger than 25, then it's like, I don't know about that. Like between 18 and 25, nah, you got to be old enough. You got to be older than 25 at least. Cause it's like, I don't know, man. Younger people. No, they ain't trying to throw shade, but it's just like, it's like, nah. Like I ain't trying to sound old. I ain't trying to. I ain't got nothing against them, but it's like, I don't know, bro. Cause it's almost like she's like this character in particular is older than the rest of them in the crew, and she kind of like she gets on the youngest member of the crew, and it's kind of like how I feel about like all that and all this whole meme culture and just the whole thing. And it's like I said, I ain't saying nothing about the younger generation, but I don't know, bro. Damn, how do I get this out of her hair like this? Oh, and obviously I listen to Donald Glover. I mean, that's the dude from Community. Troy. Troy Barnes. All right, man. This is as good as I'm gonna get her for now. This has gone on too long. This has gone on way too long. And I'm hungry than a motherfucker. And if you talking about classic shit, it's, like I said, I could just hold conversations with anybody. If you talking about classic shit, it's like Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, Rolling Stones. Like I really want to consider. I mean, yeah, Metallica. I guess they're classic. Like back. Oh, like say. I mean, I'll definitely listen to Metallica, but I don't know. I mean, they're not as old as the Stones or Led Zeppelin or nothing. But I mean, they are classic though. Definitely classic. But I'm up here ranting about this music shit. But yeah, but like I was saying about Twitter, I mean, Twitch, I kind of was like, damn, man, I had my shit lined up, had my playlist, and they up here saying my shit was, especially YouTube, was like, all my shit was free though. See, it's just like this dude said. He was like, people say I do lo-fi. He like, I don't care, whatever, just enjoy it. See, that's how I feel about the shit. I mean, if you like something and it sound good, I mean, just, fuck it. You ain't hurt nobody. I remember in school, they used to get on this black kid. Like when I was in high school, because he used to like wear goth makeup. He came with a leather trench coat and shit, and people used to heat up on him. And I had to defend him. I was like, yo, man, get off his back. And then, like, he was kind of looking at me funny because he thought I was going to, like, say something, like, sarcastic to get a joke or something. After I was like, yo, get off his back. And he was kind of looking at me like, what's going to happen next type. And so I was just like, man, just like, don't worry about him. Because, like I said, he was heating up on his shit. And so he made, like I'll say, like, the next day or that Monday, if it was a Friday or something, he made me a CD and shit. And he was like, thanks for sticking up for me. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Cause I used to get on that shit. Cause I remember I was listening to Stupefy in the hallway when I was in high school, and somebody was like, "Oh, you listen to that white boy music," and I was like, "And so, whatever." And then like, cause I remember my friend was there, and this was somewhat around the time that Crawling from Linkin Park came out, and he was like, "Yeah, did you see that video?" And I was like, "Yeah." You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I ain't gonna sit up there and be all like feeling like I should be ashamed of the shit I listen to. Fuck that. Like I said, then after I'm done listening to Stupefy, I'll be right there listening to X is Gonna Give It To You by DMX. Or like especially something from Busta Rhymes, you know what I mean? And he just came out with a new CD last month, the Extinction Level Event 2. I'm like, that's the dude. So I'm just like I said, I'm just whatever. That's how I get down. Shit, fuck all that. I don't give a fuck what you say. And yes, I listen to all, like I said, I listen to all types of shit. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. I mean, I'm all over the place. Like, listening to what this dude said. I mean, what the fuck, man? If you like the shit, it sound good. I ain't gonna sit up there and deny it or somebody from listening to the shit. Dead presidents. I should have done. I should have done her hair in pieces. I should have seriously did this shit in pieces. Let's see how this is gonna operate. Yeah, I should have seriously done this in pieces, but anyway, I'm about to bounce. Cause it's 12:28. I'm hungry than a motherfucker. This is the first time I did this shit for 2 hours. This is gonna take a long time uploading. Fuck. Anyway, I'm out. See y'all motherfuckers tomorrow.